Hi everyone, good to see you guys again. So, how's everyone's weekend? Do you guys spend them wisely?
Yes,
Totally.
Yes, it is a sunny
Kinda.
weekend.
I'm so happy to
I love
live.
weekend.
Well, I mean, well, I spend my weekend just sitting in front of my laptop for the most part,
Same, I
finish
know.
up,
We same.
finishing up
Oh,
assignments to be submitted
you've got
soon.
tons of assignment, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, me too.
hectic week always keep us occupied.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Uh,
we know.
Oh, I can relate to that, I know. But yeah, did you just speak about Gen Zs? Yeah. Like speaking of Gen Zs, we are all Gen Zs, right? Like since
Yeah.
most of us born in 2003. But if I'm not mistaken, Isa and May, you guys were born in 2004, is it?
yes, we are the
We are
millennials
2004
of the
baby.
millennials.
Junior.
Oh.
Yeah, our junior.
So, can anyone tell me anything about Gen Zs? Like how were you raised? Maybe there's differences on how each one of us were raised. And what's your opinion about this generation? Tell me.
Okay, how you were raised? I was raised with strict parents ever since I was young until at least secondary school. Like having a limited time using my phone back then. From like if I use from the morning until the evening and then at night I will not be able to use it. The phone will be completely in my parents' hands, you know? And they check my phone to make sure there's no suspicious messages from people or any applications. And I used to have curfew, not allowed to be up after 10 p.m. Typical overprotective parent stuff. Yeah, that's how I was raised, at least. How about you guys?
Same
I
with
know.
me,
Is
I
it
think.
still going on until now?
No, not anymore, at least.
Okay, Isa, go
Mm.
on.
Good for you.
But me, even now, I still give my phone to my parents before I go to sleep.
Really?
Yes.
Oh my
Because,
gosh.
oh,
Damn.
disclaimer, my parents are not that strict, but I myself want to give the phone to my parents because
Ah,
I
okay.
think this has been habit since I got my first phone. Because when I was in secondary school, I used to give my phone to my parents, and they would frequently check my phone because they need to know who I was chatting with. My parents did not give me permission to have a boyfriend until I turned 19 or continue my degree. Also, every time I go back home, I always go to bed at 11 because my parents are teachers and they need to have a good rest. So, all of us need to go to bed as well at that time.
Oh.
Wow. I
You
I
see.
guys
can understand that, yeah.
Are good daughters.
are
Yeah, so
solehah
obedient.
daughter.
Very obedient kids.
But Isa, at least they give you permission to have a boyfriend at 19 years old, right?
But I
But
still don't
me,
have boyfriend.
but me, I need to buy a car or even a house first for me to get a boyfriend. I guess my mom wants me to be a strong, independent woman.
Yeah.
But thank God, I never have to give my phone to them. They trust me enough with the phone.
Yeah, that's
Wow.
Yay!
Wow.
Asian parents. Oh, as for my parents, they're so open-minded since I can literally tell them anything that ever happens to me daily. Yeah, they're quite chilly whenever it comes to gossip and stuff, except for love interest. Since both of my parents were raised with the rule of do not be in a relationship until you complete your studies, blah blah blah. So eventually I got raised the same way. But overall, my parents are just cool.
I see,
I
I
see,
see.
I see.
For me, yes, me too. Members are my bestie, and I can share all my story with them. They also support all my interests, especially in arts and K-pop.
Wow.
Ah,
What a Gen
we
Z
compl-
parents.
yeah.
Follow me.
I envy you. Oh my god.
Also, we also share our daily life story together, like our daily bonding session through online call.
Oh.
They will also celebrate each of my brother or even my success, even with a small celebration. I love them very much. Never thought how my life would be going without them. I grew up in a close knit family where communication, respect, and empathy was emphasized. My parents encouraged me to pursue my interests, provided emotional support, and taught me important life skills. I also believe that my upbringing has a positive impact on my self esteem, interpersonal relationship, and overall outlook on life. I value the strong family bond that the foundation my parents laid for my success. It
Oh,
was wonderful.
Uh,
oh.
What
Oh,
a
ah,
lovey-dovey
such cute
family.
parents.
And as for me, I'm quite opposite with Anne. It doesn't mean that I don't love my parents or spend much time with them. I did. But as I grew up, my parents tend to get very busy, and my siblings also get very busy since my parents still count as young for their age, while I'm the youngest one. And my parents tend to seek for a academic validation in me, such as if my siblings doesn't get straight A's, I need to get straight A's for exam, and for remembering Al Quran. We like my sister and my brother all took almost 3 to 4 years, while I have to go below that, like 2.5 years. But I know that what they are doing is for my own benefits, for my future.
Yes.
But sometimes, it kind of pressure. But still, as I grow up, I can see what they're doing in another point of view, like the positive side, like why they did this, and this is me now. Alhamdulillah, this is good.
Yeah.
oh yeah. Like
That's a good
yeah,
thing.
The best
every
for you, your parents.
yeah, every
Mm,
parent's love language is different, right? So
Yes,
yeah.
Yeah,
and they
for
also
sure.
love.
give me a lot.
Oh,
Since they ask from me a lot, they give me a lot. So
Yeah.
that's not a
aww,
problem.
Manipulation.
Aw.
pro and con.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
But
Love to hear that.
what? Yeah, I know. Go on.
No, I said no. I was agreeing with you guys.
Okay. But I have heard that millennials say about us Gen Zs my entire life. Like Gen Z is so immature. Gen Z is so unserious. Blah blah blah. Something like that. But I wonder what else is there that they have been talking about us behind our back. Like what are the stereotypes that you used to hear and know yourself?
Stereotypes, you say? Okay, I got one. Uh, Gen Zs are very open minded. With the spreading awareness about mental health, the current issue, aka the genocide that's going on in Palestine and all that. I think that it is a good thing being open minded and spreading awareness about like the importance of mental health and all, but some of us actually might struggle to foster our own well being and seek help when it's needed. Well, sometimes we would talk about how we're feeling very stressed or depressed and unsure on what to do when we need to help ourselves. Perhaps when we hit our lowest and need, we just need a little assurance, a little help to get back on track. What do you guys think?
I also think that being open minded sometimes leads Gen Z to have a negative attitude because sometimes they begin to be open minded towards wrong things. For example, that I can give you, we can see that at Western countries, most of Gen Z support LGBT. Before Gen Z,
Yes.
the LGBT community did not have a chance to voice out about their rights. Back
Mhm.
then, with the support of Gen Z, these communities can freely make an assembly in public just to fight for their rights. For me, the situation is not okay to be normalized because it will bring a negative image towards yourself or country itself in the future, since it is against religious law and human nature.
Mhm.
Yeah, agree.
Yeah.
I can see your point of view, but don't you think that Gen Z is also one of the major generation that changed the world through the internet in positive ways? I would turn your perspective this way. Gen Z grew up online with the world at the fingertips, so it is any wonder that Gen Z view themselves as global citizen, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
Yes.
So
Yes.
yes, yeah.
Yeah.
For this generation, being global means tackling international issues like climate changes or war. Of course, the issues they care about also vary from region to region, with young people showing great concern for human rights issues and Gen Zers focusing on diversity. So, how do you create a campaign that resonates with the social aware generation both globally and locally? So here, I'll take inspiration from the boycott, divestment, and section BDS movement, which is a Palestinian-led movement for freedom, justice, and equality, and Gen Z boycotting many products that are funding or even supporting Israel. Around 1,200 people were killed and more than 200 people were kidnapped by the military arm of Palestinian group. Israel then launched a campaign of airstrike and ground operation in Gaza, which has killed more than 22 and 400 people, according to the Associated Press. Then, McDonald's, along with coffee chain Starbucks, were two of the hardest hit by the boycott. In the fast food giant case, the boycott campaign began after the Israeli franchises started offering free meals to the Israel Defense Force soldiers promoted in social media blitz in October. This company had lost some big part of their revenue due to the boycott campaign that was led by Gen Z. Don't you think that this is amazing?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
that is
is
Good
so
definitely,
job,
yeah.
Gen
amazing,
Z.
Very.
Good
unbelievable.
job.
But Andrina, you also have to keep in mind that after like a month, 2 months, it's also Gen Z who bring up going to McDonald's again, going to Starbucks again,
Yeah.
and most
Yeah.
of it, yes, Generation Z. So sometimes, yeah, it is good that Gen Z leads campaign, but they tend to lose
Mhm.
focus. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
I
they
see
tend to,
Yeah, yeah.
what
yeah.
you're
So
trying
I
to
think
say, but yeah, Gen Z
that's kind
started
of,
the movement and Gen Z also started to buy things.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Pros
Mhm.
and
there's two
cons.
perspective, right? Who
That
knows?
was a
Yeah.
good one. But I also want to mention the stereotype of Gen Z is they are narcissistic entitled. We know
Yeah.
that entitled refers to some kind of spoiled self-centeredness kids. Many members of older generations, like the millennials, like the Generation X, believe that Gen Z can't last without technology. They might gather around with their friends, open table, and just look up to their phone, TikTok for hours without speaking, without chatting with their friends. They're not only that, they also use phone when completing normal day-to-day tasks, which
Mhm.
is you don't need to do that. You should focus on your tasks only. Next, older generations also believe that Gen Z is uh, much more entitled because they get what they want. Their parents tend to give everything what they ask for since they are kind of a spoiled kid ever since they are kids, right? If they have to work for something, they will complain about it. And when things don't go their way, they will throw a big fit, like tantrum and so on. Previous generations often think that Gen Z is exhibit narcissistic behavior. They believe they are the best. And if people call their as a narcissistic, they take as a positive compliment because everything about them is a positive. While we all know that narcissistic is a negative thing, right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
keep
agree.
thinking, oh, I'm positive, I am more, much more than others, and so on. Like they don't believe they do anything wrong and think that the world revolves around them, which is
Yes.
very weird to think of. So,
Yeah.
Mhm.
Gen Z is really a narcissistic, entitled generation. So, what about you guys?
As for me, I think one of the biggest misperception about Gen Z is that uh, we expect too much from brands and companies. Like people have been saying that Gen Zs have high expectation regarding the brands and companies we interact with. It's like we always want the product to be a top quality customer service that is responsive and accurate, and our opinions to be heard. As Gen Zs, I think we probably simply push brands and companies toward greater height, pushing them towards higher standards of excellence and supporting them if their efforts are successful. But actually, I think Gen Zs has strong belief and opinions and is eager to share them with the world. We want to be part of conversation that shape our future. Like Gen Z expects more from the brand and companies than any other generation before us, as we want it leading to a greater accountability for those business and motivating improved result for all parties involved. Like we don't just sit back and accept what is given. We actively seek ways to make a difference and contribute our ideas, energy, and enthusiasm. Uh, like this can often mean better customer service, innovative product, and improved workplace process for everyone involved. Like here, it's not like we are demanding because we are spoiled, but it's because we want something that shows improvement. Yeah, that's my opinion.
Yeah. I can
Yeah.
see your
Fair.
So,
point of view.
is it a good thing? Do you think that Gen Z expect a lot from a business and company?
I think it's a good thing because if we seek for it's not like problem. If we seek more, less and more about certain things, we can
Yes.
find more improvement through it, right?
But then,
Yeah.
if there are too many voices and opinion, it's going to be a very hassle things for the company, isn't it?
Yeah. Now that
Yeah.
So,
now that you say that, yeah, that's quite right. Yeah, that's
but it is good that Gen Z tend to show their voice, show their idea because they need improvement for the better future.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Yeah.
true,
But for
true.
me, Gen Z demanding so much because they contribute so much, even so bigger, so much bigger. Like they pay
Yeah,
for
true,
so much bigger
true.
price. They contribute so much thing, effort, and so on. So they
Yes.
expect something bigger. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Right, they
equality and
think.
all that.
True, true.
Then
Totally.
I think,
Yeah.
yeah, then
Yeah.
I think
True.
we can continue with Fee because I think Fee have some points to add,
Something. Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah, but as far as I saw, people also think that Gen Z has a short attention span because they love to multitask every job. They may
Yes.
they may mix up all the things that they do at one time with the other things, right? At any given moment,
Yes.
a Gen Z can listen to a new album, scroll through their social feed, and maintain multiple conversations, all at the same time. Very Although having a split focus can have consequences such as burnout and increased stress levels, it can come with positive. One being that Gen Z can thrive in a chaotic environment. The skills allows members of the generation to function at high level when multiple tasks are at hand. Other positives that come along with multitasking include that increase productivity, save money and time. As Gen Z continues to come of age, they will be a powerhouse in the office when it comes to flawlessly the day-to-day duties of the workplace. I'm sure all of us love to multitask also.
Yes.
Yes.
Me.
Yeah, of
Now that you
course.
mention
I love
multitask,
doing my assignment while listening to music. It's
Yeah.
so
Yeah,
fun.
yes.
True.
we are
Multitasking.
so Gen Z.
Reduce my stress.
Yep.
But short attention span is a negative one. But multitask, I think it's kind of
It's
benefits
Yeah,
because we
benefit.
can
True.
get our work done really fast.
Yeah,
yeah.
it's
Yeah,
Yeah.
Without
relief, so
stress.
agreed
flat.
on that.
Well, I think it's okay if whatever people thought about us Gen Zs, we're in this way, we are in that way. Like everyone can have their own opinions, but
Yeah.
like any other generation, Gen Z's behavior is shaped by how we grew up. So, what are the real challenge growing up as a Gen Z? What are those difficulties that you guys want to point out so that people will know, like, hey, we are Gen Zs and we have our own struggles too. So, what do you
Okay, now that you're asking, I really want to talk about this. This is because one of the struggles that we as Gen Z going through is first social media pressure, and second comparison, being compared to others. For social media pressure, maybe because we Gen Z really exposed to the social media that we tend to have this kind of fear of missing out, FOMO,
Yeah.
because
Mm.
when you went into a class and someone talking about something you didn't know, you like left behind, isn't it?
Yes.
So this can lead to contribute to an issue like anxiety, low self-esteem, and so on. But for being compared, we as Gen Z tends to be compared a lot by as normal citizen, as the social people, and even our parents. Like if you're studying and you going through an exam, then you get lowest. No, you're trying your best to get as high as what your parents expected you to. But when someone gets higher than you, you're being compared. Well, you have been struggle a lot to get that only, and you feel like your effort goes nothing. Like, can't you see what I'm trying to do? I'm trying to
Yeah, I
make
feel
True.
you
you.
your
I feel
parent,
you.
That's
making
so
my
It's
parents proud.
true.
hard.
But
Yeah.
when my friends get higher, why am I being compared? Am I worthless? Like they tend to, why don't you get as high as her? Try to spend time studying with her more, and so on and so on. Like,
Mm-hmm.
why am I being compared? Am I not enough? So, I think that is the main reason like Gen Z going through a lot. Don't you guys agree with that?
Yeah.
Yeah, agree,
Yeah.
agree.
The
Yeah.
comparison
See?
I
is
agree.
just
I see.
painful.
I used
Yes.
to cry a lot back then because of feeling not good enough.
Yes. Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Yeah.
We
I
already try our
see.
best, but nobody appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hmm.
All of
Not to
us
mention,
experience
even
the
our
same thing.
friends
I'm
compared
sorry.
this to someone else. And it's
Yes.
hurtful.
Yeah.
And I
Mm-hmm.
think another challenge of growing up as Gen Z is that most of us have to face unemployment problems after we graduate from university. According to
Yeah.
Prime Minister's Department of Statistics Malaysia, it indicates that the top three courses with the highest number of unemployed graduates in Malaysia are social science, business and law, engineering, manufacturing and constructions, as well as science, mathematics and computing. And these happen to be the top three courses with high students enrollment. That's why it is hard for us to get a job since we have to be competitive with each other in order to get a job that aligns with our courses of study. So we can see that Gen Z, instead of working in their studied course, they just work as a grab driver, food panda, and so
Yes.
on.
Yeah.
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 Oh.
You know what? That one time I went to Grab, and the driver asked me what I study for, and I said, "Oh, TESOL." And I asked him, and he said he's an engineering student.
Oh.
Can you
What?
Oh.
imagine?
No way.
He even got PhD and still
Oh,
working as a Grab driver. And
Oh my
that
god.
made me anxious
Mhm.
very much because, oh,
yeah.
if engineering students doesn't get this kind of employment, then what about me, Tasso?
Yeah,
You
also
get
we
what I
all
mean?
we
Yeah.
are
It's
Bachelor
very
of
worrying.
Education students, so we have to be competitive with the millennials teachers who
Yeah.
retired
Yeah.
already.
And there are
And
tons of
also we are in
teachers.
Oh.
open market. It's so hard to be in
Yeah.
school nowadays.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Again, this one may be really, really common, but I think struggling with mental health is one of the challenges Gen Z go
Yes.
through.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've heard about all these statements by Gen Zs saying that they're feeling very stressed, pressured due to the environment of school, maybe university, or even their workplace, you know. Perhaps they couldn't keep up with syllabus, maybe they got bullied or forced to work under toxic management or other type of situations really. Some also have these terrible anxiety due to pressure they feel when interacting with new people, or they're overthinking about their problem and their future to the point that it made them anxious. We don't know. Some may know how to deal with this and some may not. I
Hmm.
wouldn't be too sure about other situations. because they may differ on different levels. But I'm not here to judge either, because personally, I felt what it's like to be too stressed and overwhelmed to the point I just broke down in tears and not knowing what to do at first. It wasn't the best feelings, just a constant feeling of heaviness and dread, along with other negative emotions. It took days to eventually work myself through it and just get past it. Yeah, I think struggling with mental health is one challenge.
What about Fee? Have you ever experienced the kind of anxiety or what?
Oh, I
Yeah, I
used
want to know.
a lot. There one time I feel like the world around me turned really
Mhm.
dark, and I feel like
Oh.
I was calling for someone to help me, and it's like nobody heard me. You know
Ah,
I
Yeah.
understand you. I understand.
Oh,
it
it's
must be so
normal.
painful. Though.
that I can rely on anyone. So I guess, but that thing finally turned me into a strong woman. Like,
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
And Joanna seems so excited about anxiety. What about you? Have you ever experienced it?
Anxiety.
Sorry. Um, I never experienced anxiety before, but I
Oh.
guess if I experience it, I can't handle it because, yeah,
Mm.
I don't know.
I
I guess
such
it's
a
bad people,
healthy
bad thing.
minded.
Yeah, I'm so scared.
I'm so scared. Yeah, like yeah, even as Gen Zs, we sometimes have to go through something like that. But hey,
Yes.
Mhm.
it takes
Yeah.
sunshine and rain to make a rainbow, right? Like there's
Yeah.
also quite a few benefits for being in this generation. So what do you guys think about it?
Okay, for me,
Mhm.
as I knew semuanya May and Iza mentioned before about mental health like depression, anxiety, or even toxic environment. I believe
Mhm.
Generation Z is one. Growing up in Generation Z is one of the benefit is we are more open minded about mental health issues compared to the millennials because Gen Z are more comfortable in talking about mental health issues. Like before this, we are talking about our mental health issues like anxiety and depression. As a friend, we can share the experience and how to handle it, right?
Mhm.
So, as we have seen, Gen Z is more willing to talk about mental health to the psychiatrist or even their trusted friends or family members.
Hmm.
But for older generation like millennials, mental health was often treated like a taboo subject. For
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
because you're right. If your mother or father, knowing that you have mental health issues, they will like, oh no, it's okay. You just need some rest or
Yeah,
something
and
like
they
that.
think that you're
Yeah, they
just
always
too
used to say
spoiled.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Gen Z more detail about these issues. This explains why older generations see less able to talk about or deal with their mental health issues than younger generation. And to members of those older generation who still feel this way, the mere fact that Gen Z is willing to talk openly about mental health may make this generation appear mentally ill and weak. And as Gen Z, we can see on the social media, there was many hashtag for mental health, like mental health issues.
Mm-mm.
And as we aware, some of the mental health issues that been experienced by Gen Z is like depression, anxiety, or ADHD. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it's, some this get worse in this generation, right?
Yeah,
Mm.
we can see that.
Like
We
compared
stress
Mhm.
about
to
examination and all of that.
yeah, compared to previous generation, like it's not a common thing, but in now generation is more, spread.
Exposable.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exposable.
exposable.
Like more
Yeah, and
uncommon
some
become common.
Yeah.
yeah, and for mental health
Even though
issues, we
it
also
sounds
take some
weird, I
medicine,
still get
right?
what you mean.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But as for me, I think
yeah,
the benefit of being in this generation is that we as Gen Zs are very resourceful and can find creative solutions to problems. Like most of the time we are not afraid to think outside of the box and are always looking for a new ways to improve things. Like with Google, YouTube, and TikTok, we can have the world at our fingertips and can figure things out for ourselves without adult supervision. Like we're basically the first generation that doesn't need anyone for knowledge. Like we can get it online because we are finding our answers. We are doors to activists. We jump in and just do, which means we probably may ask for people's forgiveness rather than people's permission. We don't need other permission. If we want, we would. If we would want, like we as Gen Zs, the children of Gen X, value self-reliance and independence, and are self-directed. We will likely learn a new skill from watching YouTube and TikTok. We are likely a learn by doing hands-on generation. Like this generation know how to find the information needed to succeed and are adept researcher. Yeah, I think that's one of the benefit.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
then
I agree with
Thank
that.
Gen
you.
Z, Fatina, you have bring the a good one point. But
Yeah.
Gen Z,
You are the
they
real
tend to
Gen
lack.
Z.
Yes, they tend to lack a lot since because you know even if they want to do their assignment, they tend to look up for Chat GPT to do their
Yeah.
assignment.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's
Or
actually
brand AI.
AI is
yes,
everything.
Baby girl.
Helps a lot.
AI baby girl.
But sometimes AI makes our assignment better.
yeah.
Yeah.
But then we can't
Yeah.
rely on that because we
Yeah.
have to think with our brain also.
Yes.
Mhm.
AI can help us, but we can't rely
Yeah.
100% on it, right?
Yeah.
Yes. So what
And
about Fee?
when you say it like that, there's a lot of benefits of being in this generation. If you can live adequately instead of raising a ruckus and making a big deal out of things. Uh, in addition to being tech aware, as Fatina said, Gen Z has a wide range of entertainment choices via TikTok, Instagram, and X. Since there are few traditional games, lifestyles, or cultures in this day and age, that is very there's not many people do it anymore. People have created a variety of time killing programs. People may profit greatly from these ads without realizing it, since they encourage people to be too creative by producing a lot of out of the box content. So these diverse ads, Gen Z, Gen Z can also develop a strong sense of humor. There's also the existence of PUBG, Mobile Legends, and Valorant as the games that have the power to take this youth to a global audience. Gen Z is able to turn these phone games into a competitions where participants can win prize like large sum of money, titles, or even honors. Besides, with all of this platform, it can develop an entrepreneurial spirit. Many Gen Zs are interested in starting their own business and pursuing entrepreneurial ventures. They can use their social media to sell things virtually and use their power as an influencer to catch people's attention. So this can lead to increased innovation, job creation, and even economic growth. So Gen Z is more than you think.
Yeah. Gen Z's power.
Yeah, I agree.
Yes.
We conquered the world.
Who runs the world? Gen Z's.
Yes.
So, after this discussion, are there any word of advice you guys would like to give to our fellow Gen Zs out there?
Yeah, I have something to say, which is
Wow.
this is not
Go
only
Okay.
for
Yeah.
on.
Gen Z but also for me.
Go, go.
Oh,
Which is work hard but also play hard. I think it's very important for us to have both because you have to find something you are interested in. I think patience goes a long way. Patience really goes a long way, especially if you want to play hard. Because if you have the passion, you will keep going. You won't have a reason to stop. So I think to have a patient, just dive into it. Don't be afraid because what's there to lose? If you lose this one, just move on to the next. You know there's always future opportunities. You only live once. So just try everything that you can.
Oh,
Yes, and
Yes,
also
that's
it's
good.
don't
true.
forget that you have to make the most. of your off time. Like
Mm.
maybe right now we have yeah, we kind of piled up of assignment, but there's a day where we have like we have nothing to do, so make the most of it. Like try to going out, try to join some club, try to play frisbee or something. And maybe Fatina, after we ended our class, maybe instead of going to bed, we can you can join me to play netball, so that we can make the most of our time. And yeah, make the most of our time can help us to get better and to figure out a new personality about us. So
Hey.
maybe
Yeah, but for me, some won't be a problem. Fatina will have a powerful nap, not just sleeping, right, Fatina?
but Fatina power nap is usually like 4 hours, which I don't recommend it.
No, not 4 hours, only 4 minutes.
Hey, stop it, you guys! You don't. It's so unnecessary to attack me like that. Sheesh.
Okay.
But anyway, yeah, good advice. Really, yeah, I definitely agree with you guys. Uh, we as Gen Z really have so much to explore. Like, oh, thank you, you guys, for your precious time and work. So okay, so with that, thank you so much for tuning in to our podcast. I'm Fatina.
I'm Iza.
I'm Fitriana.
I'm
I'm Ainu.
Andrea. I'm Andrea.
I'm your girl, Sumaya.
Okay, so till we met until next time. So bye.
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 See you
Bye.
again.